So the biggest challenges that face New Orleans today, I think in some ways are a lot of the challenges that the rest of the country faces too. I mean, today as we're talking, we have the issues of the Charleston massacre that recently happened, and so and then the issue of the Confederate flag, and just a lot of race issues that are always prevalent in this country and that have been prevalent in the South, of course, and in New Orleans. I mean, I think those are always, and a lot of that in New Orleans is mixed up with culture and with that what makes us us. And I don't, I mean, obviously I don't have the answers, but I truly believe that what makes us special are our differences. And I wouldn't want to live in a place where everyone looked the same, and I wouldn't want to only have, again, as I said at the beginning of our little talk today, I purposefully choose to live in New Orleans, and I have no interest in living in a subdivision of new houses where all of the houses look alike and you can't tell one of them from, I mean, I don't think that's not very interesting. I want to live in a more unique place, not just the architecture and the homes, but the people too. And it really pains me when I recognize, and I do recognize, the depth to which we are still divided in so many ways. And it really is something that causes me a lot of pain and stress, and maybe not stress, but kind of anguish. It's something that I wish it wasn't like this. I wish we didn't have these problems. So I think that's something, I guess, I don't know if it's, I don't know how related to Katrina it is, but it's because it is such a prevalent problem in our society, and it's, like I said, at the forefront of my mind at the moment with all of the recent events in the news. But I think it's a big challenge. I think we have to be cognizant of people who have different experiences than we have, and we have to, and it's hard to understand differences because they're different just by definition. It's hard to understand someone else's experiences, and sometimes it's hard to even recognize that other people have different experiences, and yet everyone's experiences are real and valid and important. And I think a lot of people have trouble with that. It takes a lot of bravery and a lot of courage to say, I want to walk in your shoes. Help me understand your experience. Tell me about your experience. And unfortunately, we have not had a lot of success doing that on a very wide basis. And I also feel that, the city is becoming, it's becoming more expensive to live in the city, and so I think we're starting to have the issue of, we have a very tourism-dependent economy and service industry-dependent economy with some lower-paying jobs and things that the people who hold those jobs aren't going to be able to find places to live that are close to those jobs. And so I think, we've heard of problems that cities like San Francisco and New York and places like that have with rising rents, and it's such an expensive place to live, and so people are being forced farther and farther away from the city centers where the jobs are. And then you have people who have these incredible commutes that are so destructive and so disruptive to their lives. Just a lot of difficulties. I also think that some of the new technologies that have sprung up in the last 10 years, like there's also in the news all the time as Airbnb and short-term rentals, which are also having the effect of lessening affordable housing options for people of all stripes, not just our lowest paid workers, but many middle-class folks as well are having trouble with that. And so I think that's something that we're really going to have to get a handle on.